Let's first see why we need test doubles, and then we will see, or we will be able to give them a definition. Let's think why we need something else when we are trying to test our code. Well, let's say that some units inside our code are not either fast or easily accessible. And when we will test those units, we need to somehow replace them inside our test. The very easy example would be us accessing a database or some data over the internet using fetch or Axios or any other HTTP request library. But let's think that a portion of our code, for example, if we want to see a post with comments, let's say that a post should already have some existing comments that we get from the internet or from a database. How would exactly we test this implementation? Of course, we can test it in real life, but in real life, databases should be very secure and hard to access. Again, if we would configure the test this way, it would be very hard to configure. On the other hand, we could use something called a test database, so like a copy, a hard copy or a shallow copy of a database, maybe living on Docker or something like this. This way we could also test our database. And now we come to the point where we can give a test double a meaning. Well, we can say that a test double is a pretend object used in place of a real object for testing purposes. Or even simpler, we can say that a test double is an object that we can control, that we put in the place of another object that we can't control. And there are many types of test doubles, like for example dummy objects, which are objects passed around but not used. We can talk about fakes, which take a shortcut when we are using them inside our implementation. We can talk about stubs, which are incomplete objects used as arguments. And then there come the two most important types of test doubles. We talk about spies and mocks. They share a lot of common functionality. So in Jest and Vitest, they have a lot in common. The main difference between spies and mocks is that spies usually don't alter the original implementation. But both in Jest and Vitest, both spies and mocks, they track information about how a unit is called. And moving on inside this course, you will see that spies and mocks have a lot of functionality in common. This is the reason many times I will use mocks and spies in order to achieve a testing goal. Talking about mocks, they are very debated over the internet. Some will say that mocks are really bad and a bad practice. Some will embrace them. In my opinion, a good practice is something that gets the job done. End of discussion. But the way we use mocks greatly influences the way we write tests. And inside our tests, if we need to use mocks too often or too much, there might be something wrong with our code. Maybe we can decouple a functionality, or we need to refactor it, or so on. Very important for React and for any testing environment, it's very important to clear each mock or each test double after each and every test. And in order to do this, in order to show you how to do this, let me switch to my IDE. So inside the project, we have a setup file that will be run before each test. And there's a after each block right here. Well, if you are using Vitest, you can call Vitest clear all mocks. If you are using Jest, you can call the same function. In this example, I'm using Vitest, so I will call Vitest clear all mocks. This is a very important operation if you have mocks or spies inside your code. Be sure that you add this, otherwise your mocks will behave strangely and your tests will fail and you won't know why. Very important, if you add test doubles inside your testing, be sure to clear all the mocks, all the spies with after each and every test. We can do this fairly easy if we have a setup.ts file with this command. Now let's move on into the next lecture and see an example of test doubles inside React.